Hey everybody! Alright, so I have a whiteboard, I have a marker, and I'm ready to show some things I already know. In the quick review, our intention is to revisit some skills that we've seen last week or yesterday because we're going to use those skills to build today's lesson. So let's take a look at something you might have done before. The directions say what fraction has been colored. So we're going to be looking at some shapes that have been divided equally into parts, and some of those parts will be shaded or colored in. Let's take a look. All right, so the first step is to figure out the denominator. The denominator, it's a fancy word that means all the parts. So let's count up all the parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, all together. Okay? The second step is to look at what's been shaded, right? What's been used up, what's been eaten, whatever the problem calls for. And in this case, it's been colored blue. So how many of these parts are colored blue? Aha! Now we have the fraction, but how do you name the fraction? Well, there's two ways. There's one way that always works, and it's to say it like this. 1 out of 4. 1 out of these 4 is shaded in. That's what that's saying. The other way to say this is 1/4. And there's even an old-fashioned way to say it where you would say 1/4. So if you're ever stuck and you're not sure what to say, you can always show the fraction. That's good. Or you could always say the words 1 out of 4. That'll always work for you. Here's another one. So to find the denominator, that's all the parts. I'm going to count all the parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on the bottom. How many of them have been colored, in this case, red? 1 out of 5 is how you say that fraction. Or, if you want to be fancy, you could say 1/5. Next. Kind of a tricky one. How many in all? 1, 2, 3, 4 in all. So 4 on the bottom, just like this, right? 4 on the bottom. But there is a distinction or a difference here because this one had 1 shaded part. If you look over here, we have more. We have 1, 2, 3 that are colored or shaded in green. So this shows us 3 out of 4, or 3/4, or 3/4. Last one. Oh, and there's a lot of these parts, aren't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Especially on these that have lots of parts, I like to actually make a dot or a mark in each part. Otherwise, you forget sometimes where you start and you'll lose count. Anyway, there are 8 total and only one of them shaded or colored in yellow. So you would call this 1 out of 8 or 1/8. Hopefully, some of this is like, yeah, I've seen this before, because we're going to use this to compare some fractions today. Thanks, guys.